So you can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen in a still position, just feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, or move in whatever ways your body wants to move. As you do your best to not think about the movements at all, but more letting your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, and joints. And if what feels best to you at any time is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness, whenever that feels like what you need. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you now mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full, intentional, cleansing breath. Calling in fresh, new air into the body and through the nose, filling up to every corner and edge of you. As you pause for just a moment once you're full, to really stay in that sense of fullness. And without straining as you need to, slowly let all of that go. And gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment to now experience this sense of emptiness, allowing your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And so you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful to you. Not worrying about the length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses on either side, but just letting each of the 4 parts of your breath be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. So when the body would naturally stop inhaling, seeing if you can expand your belly a tiny bit more to take in one more moment's worth of air. And when you naturally roll over to your exhale, seeing if you can hold off on that for an extra moment to stay in this experience of fullness for a little longer than usual. And as you need to, letting it all go. And even once you think you're empty, seeing if you can empty yourself a little bit more. And staying in that emptiness for an extra moment before allowing your next breath to come. As we intentionally slow down the process of our breath, the 4 parts of the breath. The inhale, the pause, the exhale, and the pause. Therefore, communicating to our body, to our nervous system, that now is a time to slow down. And at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether. And allow yourself to almost step back and up in your mind into the role of the observer or the witness, into that perspective or point of view where you are now simply watching your body breathe you, rather than having any direct influence over the rhythm or depth of the breath. But reminding yourself how our breath is the one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. And so releasing the voluntary guidance we just had over the breath, and now simply observing the automatic process that is your body breathing you. Just as your body breathes when you're in a deep state of sleep. Just as your heart beats for you all day long, all night long. Seeing if you can observe the breath without impacting it at all. Maybe taking on that same energy you may feel when you lay on the beach and just watch the waves roll up along the shoreline. Not trying to change the size or speed of the waves, but simply watching as they come and go. Remembering that your body is a force of nature, just like any other force of nature out there. And you are capable of witnessing that, just as you are any other force of nature. And as you now let some attention come to your face, you can just make note of any resting expression on the face. Making note of any emotions that could be communicated by this resting expression. Maybe the brow is furrowed or the jaw is tense. The nostrils could be flared, or even the chin or ears could be holding some remaining tension. And just allowing your awareness of this tension be all that you need to instead allow these areas to soften. And feel your jaw hang into place as you let the tongue release from the roof of the mouth. And feel your lips resting softly on one another. And letting the softness in your mouth naturally spread outward and upward as you feel the cheeks softening a little bit more, the nostrils, the ears, even feeling your chin soften a bit further. As you allow your eyelids to rest softly on one another. As you feel your hairline soften back and your forehead widens and deepens, simply with this release of tension. And if you were able to see each individual tiny muscle that exists in the face, all of the muscles that create every expression you've ever made, almost seeing these muscles simply ungrip from the bones and release back into the support of your skin. Remembering that you can trust your own anatomy and you do not need to hold yourself in any particular or specific way. But when you let go, when you physically soften the body and the mind, absolutely everything will be held exactly where it needs to be. Remembering the safety that comes with your own body, that comes with this earth that is beneath you, and the force of gravity all around you. Reminding yourself that when you let go and soften your body, you will not be crushed and you will not float away. But everything will be held exactly where it needs to be, just like when you are in a deep state of sleep. And so now feeling your pelvic floor lengthen and widen into the surface that is beneath you. Softening your glutes as you just release yourself a little bit deeper into whatever surface is beneath you. Releasing yourself into this sense of trust with the surface beneath you and with the earth that is beneath this surface. And now letting some awareness come now into your heart. As you gradually call more and more of your awareness into your heart. Syncing up your awareness with this rhythm that is your own heartbeat. And you can always place one or both hands on top of the heart if you have trouble feeling it, to just encourage that feeling from the outside as well. But gradually syncing more and more of your awareness, syncing it up with the rhythm of the life that is running through you. This heartbeat that has been pumping life into you from before you were even breathing air. From the time you were in your mother's womb up to this exact moment. This heart has been pumping life into you. And this heart is your own personal and direct line of connection to whatever source or force is out there that allows our hearts to beat. You are directly connected to this source or force, simply because you are also alive. And so since you are alive, of course, you are connected to the source that all of life comes from. And it is natural, it is human to forget this connection. We will forget that we are innately connected to this source. And we will also remember. And in order to remember, we have to forget. And so just being so kind and patient with yourself. If you're in a phase of life right now where you feel disconnected, maybe where you feel unmotivated or slightly lost, and just trust that all of those feelings are a part of the path as well. They are a part of the human experience. And as a human, we are not meant to escape human experience or human emotions. We are simply meant to experience them. And the human experience will always contain a lot of pain, hurt, sorrow. And it will also contain a lot of love and joy and connection and happiness. And everything in between the two extremes. And so it is safe for you to allow yourself to be wherever you are in your life right now. It is safe for you to fully accept where you are right now, who you are right now. As you remember that accepting and acceptance does not mean that you like it or agree with it or even want it to be this way. But accepting who you are and where you are in life right now simply means that you acknowledge reality, which is the first and necessary step in any real change. And a very helpful analogy I thought of once to just allow you or help you to feel whatever you're feeling. Feels very relevant with the crazy storm happening right now. It was inspired by the saying that every storm runs out of rain, which is true. Absolutely, every storm will run out of rain. And sometimes it can feel like when we are questioning ourselves or beating ourselves up for feeling bad or being hard on ourselves for not feeling motivated. It can be almost the same thing as questioning why it's raining. Going outside, looking up at the storm clouds, and you're seeing them moving and you're running alongside with them, being like, why is it raining? Why is it raining? If I stare at them long enough and run alongside it for long enough, I'll figure out why it's raining and then maybe it will stop. But what's actually happening is that you're running alongside the storm and allowing yourself to simply feel what you're feeling, to feel those tough emotions that humans feel, can be the equivalent of having a seat in the storm, feeling the rain wash over your skin, and knowing that storm clouds will pass. They are always moving. But you will stay in the storm if you keep running alongside it. And so you can let yourself cry, let yourself scream or punch a pillow or do whatever emotional release you need to do in whatever storm you happen to be in. You can sit in the rain and just feel it. And know that every storm runs out of rain. And the clouds will pass over you, even when it feels like it's been raining forever and it will rain forever. We know that that is not true. The only thing we know to be true is that everything changes, especially the weather, and especially our own emotional storms, our emotional weather, if you will. And you can also remind yourself that of the reality that even when there are crazy storms outside, even when there's a heavy layer of clouds, the sun is always shining behind those clouds even. The sun does not stop shining. And in Hellenistic astrology, the sun is the representation of our own soul, of that spark within us that brings our body to life, that enters our body when we're in our mother's womb, and that leaves our body whenever our bodies are done. And the moon in Hellenistic astrology is the representation of our body, our physical body that is simply matter. The moon does not produce its own light, but the moon reflects the light of the sun. Just like our body does not produce its own light, but our body reflects the light of the soul that is within us. And there are times when the moon is fully illuminated. It is whole, it is bright, it is a full moon that shines light for others in the darkness. And there are other times where that exact same moon is a new moon. It's in the shadows and not reflecting any light whatsoever. And we don't question the moon or ask what's wrong with the moon when it is in a new moon phase. We simply know and acknowledge that that is a phase the moon will move through. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the moon when it's not reflecting any light. And you are the same way. You will move through the same phases of life that everything in life moves through. That plants move through, that the moon moves through. There will be times where you are whole and bright and feel like you can shine light for others in their darkness. And there are other times where you will be in darkness yourself. And just like the moon, just like the trees when they're shedding their leaves, there's nothing wrong with you when you are in darkness or feeling unmotivated or uninspired or just plain bad. It simply means that you are alive and you are a human. And so you can allow yourself to release or let go of that extra heavy layer that we all put on ourselves, of those harsh expectations or questioning ourselves when we're feeling bad, asking those should thoughts, maybe. All of those thoughts that say, well, you should be grateful, you should be motivated, you should be anything other than what you are right now. And instead, you can use those thoughts that come up as cues for you to remind yourself that whatever I am feeling is exactly what I should be feeling because I'm feeling it. And we are not meant to only feel good things all of the time. But we can make our own suffering a lot heavier on ourselves by putting ourselves down for feeling down. And so instead what we can do is the same thing that we would do, or how we would respond to the moon when it's in the shadows, or maybe your best friend or someone you love dearly when they're having a bad day. And show yourself that same comfort, patience, and understanding that you would show anyone else who you love. And trusting that absolutely everything is temporary, especially how we feel. And so it is safe for you to allow your feelings to arise from within you and release outside of you however they need to be released, rather than shoving them back down deeper within you, where they will only echo louder and control your actions more insidiously. You will not be crushed by your feelings, and you will not drown in your sorrows. But you are strong enough to feel all of your feelings. And your own life is proof of that strength. The amount of difficult things you've already conquered, you've already experienced, and made it through, made it to the other side. Your life is proof of your strength. And you can remind yourself of your strength anytime you forget. And know that you are strong and you are powerful. You are worthy of being here, even when it doesn't feel like it. The simple fact of your existence is the proof of your worthiness. And you do not have to do anything to prove your worth or to earn this life. But instead, what you can do is show your appreciation for this life through your actions. You can do things in your life from this love that is in your heart, rather than for the love of others around you. Because since you have this heart within you, Since you are alive and directly connected to the source of all life and love, that means that you have an infinite supply of this life and love. You are connected to the source of it all. And so, again, you can do things from this infinite supply of love, rather than for love on the outside of you, but through the love that is inside of you. And you will watch how that naturally allows your love to expand and awaken that same truth within those around you, as this is true for everything that is alive. And so just take the next few moments to remind your body to soften once again, especially if there are areas of pain present within the body. Noticing all of the urges to run away from those painful feelings, to distract from them. And if it feels available to you, seeing if you can instead almost zoom in on the pain and fight those urges to distract and run away. And instead, bring all of your awareness to that zone that is hurting and exhale into it. Allow your muscles to physically soften around it. And release that layer of resistance, which can be the heaviest layer of our pain, is the constant trying to run away, trying to distract. And instead, simply exhaling into exactly who you are and how you are right now. Remembering again that this is temporary. And even if you can feel relief for a split second, letting yourself feel that relief and taking it with you. And so with your attention on your heart, you can notice now the heartbeat that also exists in your hands. Remembering the physical connection between your heart and your hands. Through pathways of veins and vessels, your heart is pumping blood, pumping life into your hands. And if it feels like something you'd like to do, you can let your hands and the pulse of your hands be drawn to wherever they want to go, whatever part of your body might need a little extra support right now. Maybe your stomach, maybe your back, maybe your heart, maybe somewhere else entirely. And just allow all of this love and life that is in your heart be pumped through your hands and into whatever part of your body needs that extra support. Trusting that your hands have the power to heal through this love that is in your heart. Allowing your body to physically soften beneath your hands. And accept this loving support from yourself. And always allowing for any emotional releases that need to come. Remembering that tears can act as prayers. Tears are waves of emotions that we can allow to arise and release. You will not drown in them, but you will feel lighter after releasing them. And so if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can seal up this love in whatever part of your body you were just focusing on. And now let your hands be drawn toward each other. As your hands come to a prayer position toward heart center. And you feel this contact of your palms and fingers to one another. And let your heart lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. As you tune in once again to all of this power that is generated through you in your own heart. And now you can call in one final deep and full breath of air as you fill up the most you have today to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of as you allow the head to gently bow. So you take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.